In January of 2020, I embarked on the It Gets Better Every Day tour, with plans to film my new comedy special upon its completion. After 22 shows, the United States government declared a state of emergency in response to the mounting pandemic. Suddenly faced with canceling the rest of my tour, I took the stage for one last time before the lockdown, making this show very special to me. Thankfully, our cameras were rolling. Thanks for risking your life. There have been times when I've been kind of shocked that people show up, but if the stock market hadn't crashed, I would have been able to give each of you a prize. Fuck, I mean, this is the level of desperation that you're at is, and I understand it, because when they said no more sports, I don't have a gun, but I bought one. I didn't know how many days I could take, but I need a distraction! Can't, you fucking, ESPN should just turn themselves off. Just stop it, okay? Just fucking go away for a while. Seriously, or just have, highly paid athletes sit around and read children's stories. Since the kids are at home. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't need to know that, fuck you. Fuck you hard. And for me, it's like the fact that, Major League Baseball may not start for a while is just, for me, is a kind of a vacation, because my team is the Baltimore Orioles. And so that's like rooting for this speaker to win the World Series. Now, I'm avoiding getting started because it's hard to be funny now. And you know why, because it's hard to be funny when everything's, going so great. I mean, it's just hard to be funny when everybody's so fucking happy. I travel everywhere, and everywhere I go, I know it seems odd, but they are smiling ear to fucking ear. It's like everybody's on ecstasy. It is like wandering through a great big Christian camp. And as a Jew, let me tell you how fucking exhausting that is. Sometimes when I'm walking down the street, really, I feel like I'm on a high school set of a production of Annie, and that at any moment, everybody's gonna start singing Tomorrow. There is a reason that people are really happy through all of this, something that really is deep, and you forget it. And I'm here to remind you, because that's my job. It's true. When I was a child, I would get down on my hands and knees every night and I would pray, please, dear God, when I get older, please let there be 2-day free shipping. And I think, quite honestly, that I speak for all of us here tonight when I say that our prayers have been answered. If 2-day free shipping doesn't make you happy, there is something fucking wrong with you. The third time I put it in order, and it arrived 2 days later, I threw away my Xanax prescription. It's true, you gotta remember that. Some of you'll be at home, be a little sad. fucking start buying shit. Yes, sir, Bob. You know, I was, to give you an idea of just how overwhelming 2-day free shipping is. In September, when I first started wandering around this year, and it was after the summer break that I took, first city I went to was Rapid City, South Dakota, okay? And let me tell you that Rapid, don't even fucking try. You couldn't, that was the saddest attempt at applause I've ever fucking heard. You literally were. You've never been there. That was like a joke told badly. Oh, I know what I'll do, I'll applaud. Let me tell you that, you know, the word rapid has nothing to do with Rapid City. And I mean that. Look, I don't know where you've come from, but if you've thought, boy, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta find another place to live, okay? I gotta find you get your ass to Rapid City. Get on a plane and fly there, and I guarantee you'll be there 4 hours and you'll go, fuck it, I'm walking home. You drive to Rapid City, you drive. Nothing, fucking nothing. It's South Dakota. South Dakota, which worries about immigrants coming, you could take 10,000 Syrians, drop them in South Dakota, nobody'd ever fucking find them. You drive, there's nothing. All of a sudden you go, fuck, now I understand what existentialism's all about. And then all of a sudden there's Rapid City. Ooh. And then you leave, and there's nothing and fucking nothing. Not a fucking goddamn fucking nothing. First exit you come to, 70 miles later, it says, don't bother. Most places I've traveled in the United States, you have a fucking sense of why people settled there. Rapid City, holy fuck. The only thing I figured, there was a wagon train and they just went, fuck it. I'm tuckered out. I performed in Rapid City, and I said the words 2-day free shipping, and that audience wept for an hour. The reason 2-day free shipping is so important is because each of us has a hole in our hearts. Yes, we do. And the only thing that fills that hole is when we see something that we really want and we fucking buy it. It could be as simple as a pair of socks with unicorns on it. And that thing arrives at your house, that box, and you rip that box open. And you grab that pair of socks and you shove it right in that hole. And you feel good for about an hour and a half. And then you think, fuck, I should have got a dozen pair. They were on sale. Or you could find yourself sitting on a toilet seat in a bathroom in a gas station. Did you hear how fucking silent you got? Like, oh, not me. Fuck you. Every one of you's been there. Every one of you has sat there and looked at the lock on that door going, I hope it holds. And you sit there now, and it used to be depressing, not anymore. Because now you think, this would be a perfect time to buy that Barca lounger. You take out your smartphone, you bring up the Barca lounger. It's this big, isn't it? And you make it bigger and bigger until it fills the screen. That's a fucking miracle. Then you pick the color, everything you want. Do you want to have a place to put your beer? That's why I'm fucking buying it. Then you hit the button. Fuck, it's gonna come in 2 days. Son of a bitch. You're so excited you can barely get your pants on. You kick open the door, you're dancing around. I'm gonna have a Barca lounger. I'm gonna have a Barca lounger. Then you go, well, what if they send the Barca lounger to this gas station? Well, now you're a little depressed, aren't you? So you go into the gas station, you grab yourself a 64-ounce Mr. Pibb, and one of those corn dogs that's been flipping around in the rotisserie for 30 hours, awaiting your arrival. And you stand there holding them both in your hands. And for one brief moment, you think, fuck, it's great to be an American. These are great times. They really are. We've now discovered a whole new way of not getting shit done. For the last 30 years, no other country on earth is more accomplished in having more and being able to do less with it. Yeah, I don't even expect you to laugh, and I don't give a fuck if you do or don't, because you know it's true. We have roads that need to be fixed. Why? Why would we do that? We've got to argue about it. There's no reason to argue about fixing a road. There's nothing political about a road, is there? It's a fucking road, douchebag. There's no politics in a road. Why? Because there's a left side and a right side. Ha, 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 ha. Now they're arguing about how to deal with they need a bill in Congress to deal with the pandemic. And what are they doing? It's beyond belief. It's beyond belief. Just have a scientist. Ask the scientist, what do you need? What needs to be done? They're arguing about it. There's no fucking argument. Get the fuck on it, you idiots. I don't care what side you're on. Get the fuck on it. There's no discussion, okay? It's a fucking virus. Fuck you. You say it, everybody go home. Well, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Okay? If you need to give people sick leave, you give them fucking sick leave. If you need to have a payroll tax, you do a payroll tax. I don't give a shit. Just fucking do it! We've done something with these two political parties that really is unbelievable. No other country has done it. No other country. We used to have parties that argue ideas. Ha ha, not anymore. Now we have two separate political parties that actually exist in two totally different realities. And if you didn't laugh at that, fuck you. And I mean it. As a friend, I mean it. They are living in different realities. How do I know that? I took LSD. That's how I fucking know it. And then I walked around and there were straight people everywhere. And I was on LSD. We were on two different fucking planets, weren't we? I was me, and they all looked like snakes. Some of you, I know, are worried about climate change and global warming because you're afraid it might lead to the end of the world as we know it, or at least be uncomfortable. And the reason that many of you think that is because you listen to scientists. And those of you who didn't applaud, I'm interested in who you listen to. No, people do listen. That's who you listen to. And a lot of you do listen to them because it turns out that 96% of the world's scientists actually agree that global warming and climate change may make things really uncomfortable. And I know it's 96% because I did research. And if you think I'm happy about doing research, go fuck yourself. If you think I got into this profession to look shit up, no. I got into this profession to make shit up. And the problem is, when you listen to those scientists, that can really fuck up a day. You listen to what they have to say, a lot of you, and you just go, fuck, I'm too depressed. I gotta take a nap. And there's not enough 2-day free shipping that'll get you over the hump. But you don't have to worry anymore. No, you don't. Because we, the people, made a conscious decision. Yes, we did. We decided that what we were gonna do was hand over the problem of dealing with global warming and climate change to a whole group of people who never, and I mean never, passed the science class. And they don't deal with this with the here, okay? They deal with it here. Thank you. They deal with it instinctively. That's what they do. And their instincts say, fuck it. And so I don't know about you, but I'm feeling better already. Many of you, I'm sure, don't listen to our leader, and that's a big mistake. I know that when he comes on, some of you go, and you're missing something important, an important lesson, one that he has taught me, and it has changed my life. And one of the reasons that I'm visiting your village is to share that with you. That's right. And what is that important message? And what is it that changed my life? And what is it that makes me so fucking happy now? Is because my leader has taught me that if I think it, it's true. And if I say it, it's even truer. Many of you don't know this, but my breast milk is a magical elixir for kittens. Yes, it fucking is. Go to my website, 2-day free shipping. I could pull my fly down now. My cock would hit the back of this room. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. I know this because I thought it. Many is the time I stand on the street, a woman has to stand a block away to talk to me. I can barely see the awe that's in her eyes. I'll be returning next year with my new show, Lou Black, and his big magical cock. You're gonna wanna see that. My cock is so big, they're gonna have to reconfigure this stage. My cock's gonna go there, and there, and there, and there, there. The light show is spectacular. You're gonna wanna get the soundtrack. They are building doors now so that my cock can get out into the street, because my cock needs to breathe. And there they will put 35 parakeets on the end of my cock. I will pull back. I will disappear. All you will see is my cock and 35 parakeets, and they will sing for you tomorrow from Annie. I remember my whole act tonight because I forgot to take my Prevagen. Prevagen, for those of you who don't know, and obviously some of you fucking don't, is a remarkable memory-enhancing drug. It's spectacular. It's a miracle. If I'd taken my Prevagen, I would have remembered to take my Prevagen. It's so powerful, you don't even need a prescription. It's as powerful in many ways and as much of a miracle as our other drugs that are miracles, vitamin C and aspirin. Every drugstore in America sells it. It's still on the shelves, unlike toilet paper. Yes, sirree. You can buy as much as you want. I buy 1,000 boxes a week. I take 5,000 tabs a day. I'm having memories of experiences that haven't even happened yet. I am living in the future. Now, I know that some of you don't know about Prevagen because you stopped watching news on television because you believe it is fake news. Or, you have family members that you visited maybe on Thanksgiving, and they told you that they don't watch news on TV anymore because they believe it's fake news. And that must have been a fun Thanksgiving meal. I'm here to tell you, if you've watched news as long as I have, anyone who's watched news for a long, long time knows better. There's no fake news, okay? When I was a child, we would sit around the table, be my mother, my father, my brother Ron. At the end of the table, on the television was Walter Cronkite. I thought he was there because maybe he was a cousin or something. I've been watching news all my life on TV, and what you learn is really simple. And that is, there is not fake news because those fuckers aren't smart enough to make shit up. It's news, shit for brains. It's that simple. It's that simple. When you see something, and then you see it again, and then you see it again, and then you see it again, there's a reason for that. It actually fucking happened! Here's the news. There it is. Whoo! Look at that. Wow. Back to you. That's the fucking news. I don't care what you're watching. You think yours is the better news delivery system? MSNBC, Fox, CNN, they're all the fucking same. The problem is this. They show you something, and then six fuckers you've never seen show up and start telling you what they saw. And you sit there and go, shut the fuck up, I saw it. I know what I saw, shit for brains. Why are you telling me what you saw? How did you get that job? I could sit there and tell people what I fucking saw too. And what I saw was I fucking saw it much more clearly than you did, you fucking idiots. And you sit and watch that for 8 minutes, whether it's Fox, MSNBC, or CNN. And by the end of it, you go, fuck, I don't remember what I saw. And then they have an ad for Prevagen. That is not fake news. That is news delivered shittily. That's what that is. I am tired of political commentators on news shows. They shouldn't be there. I don't care which channel you're watching. They shouldn't fucking be there. You want a political commentator? Then bring on a barnyard animal. They have more to say to us. Like a lamb. What did you think, lamb? Bah. Back to you. Prevagen contains an ingredient that was found in jellyfish. That's one of the reasons you fuckers live here. You know why? Because you're afraid of jellyfish. Yeah, you are. You really are, and it makes me sick. But I can understand it. You went, fuck, it's gonna be a shitty day, but no jellyfish is gonna sting my ass. I figure the way they found an ingredient in jellyfish is somebody was walking down the beach and was feeling a little hungry. And they wanted to go home, and they thought, I'll take one more swim. And they jumped in the water and swam for a while. And then they saw a jellyfish. They said, that looks tasty. And they swam up to it, took a big bite, and went, fuck, now I remember. I know that many of you are paying an exorbitant amount of money for your prescription drugs that are necessary for you to be able to see tomorrow. Exorbitant prices for drugs that allow you to lead a better and healthier life. There are a lot of people who are doing that. And if you're not, then you know someone who is, or you have a family member who is, okay? That's just the way it is now. And we know for a fact, because everyone's heard it, that many Americans are forced to choose between whether they buy the prescription drug or whether they eat. Ooh, there's an interesting concept. Gee, do I take the prescription drug and starve to death? Or do I eat and fucking die of what I've got? Nobody should be put in that position, but we've managed to do it. And the reason that the prices are as high as they are is that we're one of only 2 countries in the whole planet who made a decision to advertise drugs to ourselves, prescription drugs. The only other country that does that is New Zealand. And that makes sense. Why? Because they're way far away. How far away, Lewis? They're so fucking far away that it's tomorrow there. Why are we advertising drugs to ourselves? There's no reason for that. None. None at all. Why do you see the doctor, numbnuts? Do you think that the doctor's making shit up when he tells you what to take? Do you think the doctor's hiding the good shit from you? Boy, I gotta get home and watch TV and see what the dealer has to say. Have you watched those ads? Some of the ads, I don't even know what the fucking diseases are. There's that ad for AFib. What the fuck is AFib? What the fuck is AFib? I know nobody with AFib. I know what AFib is. It's a little lie. That's AFib. That means that fucker was lying little lies all the time, took the drug, now he ain't doing little lies. Who knew that was a problem? There's 3 separate ads in which people seem to be really fucking happy when they go to crafts fairs. Are you shitting me? Were they having difficulty going to crafts fairs? Did they have a fear of crafts fairs? God damn it, I've got to get to a crafts fair. Son of a bitch, I need a dream catcher. There's an ad in which there's a guy on the beach and he's playing the cello, and he never knew how to play the cello, but the pill that he's taken made it possible for him to play the cello. Did you know that William Shatner had sleep apnea? And he wasn't cleaning his machine properly. The man who dared to go where no man has ever gone. He could have ended up in the emergency room. I did not know that Cyndi Lauper had psoriasis. That's not good. I had psoriasis. That's no fun. It's ruined her music for me because every time I hear her sing, I think, fuck, I wonder if she was itchy when she wrote that. I heard girls just want to have fun this morning. I thought, was she chafing? The last couple of weeks before this part of the tour, I was lucky enough to be able to the tour routed well so I could go and see my mother it's important that I see her now as much as possible. It's tough now. I couldn't, even if I wanted to see her at this point, she's on a kind of a lockdown, not because of the coronavirus, but because of the flu. And it's important that I get to see her because she's 101. So, and what's really important is I want to get my hands on those drugs. Because they apparently really work. Whatever she's taken. Whew. My father, Sam, he passed away in May. It's hard to think it's sad, of course, and I mourn, but he was 101. So you can't really say, fuck, Dad, you should have lived longer. 101, they have two parents who are 101. That's like, it's an insane kind of a lottery. That's sweet of you to applaud. I did nothing. But there's a real shot that I'm a reptile. They were married 74 years. In order to be married 74 years, you actually have to live forever, or you have to get married at the age of 9. Well, actually, the secret to having a marriage that also is as successful as theirs was is they never, and I mean never, heard a word the other one said. I'm asked from time to time, how come they were able to live so long? And the reason is quite simple. It's first, they never, this will shock you, they never went to the gym. Yeah, and those of you who didn't laugh, think about that when you're doing your hot fuck yoga. Unlike eating farm to table, everything they ate contained preservatives. Hence, they were preserved. Quinoa never crossed their lips. And it shouldn't cross yours. Ancient grain, you can bite my fucking crank. That is bullshit on a stick. Where do you find an ancient grain? At the open all-night ancient grain supermarket? I don't fucking think so. Hey, would you like some quinoa with your protein? Get the fuck away from my protein with that shit. And it tastes like shit. And if you don't think it tastes like shit, there's something wrong with your fucking taste buds. All I think about when I look at quinoa is they made sand taste better. When my mother reached mid-90s, I said, what's it like living so long? She said, I wouldn't call this living. I'd call it not dying. I'd call it overtime. She turned 100. This is absolutely true. She blew the candles out on the cake and said, nobody should live this fucking long. At 101, she blew out the candles and said, I crossed the finish line. Now I should be able to drop fucking dead. And then we all sang happy birthday. My father, it was a blessing. My father was a bit more upbeat, which was good. He was born on February 13th, the day before. And we had a 100th birthday party on that day. The last big birthday party for him. And for the big party for both of them when they could kind of really deal with that kind of energy and stuff. And it was a lot. It becomes a lot after a while. I got a text from a friend. I took my father aside and I said, Steve just texted and he said he's sorry he couldn't be here. But he wanted me to kiss you, but not on the lips. And my father, without missing a beat, went, where did he want you to kiss me? I let that pass. I said, it's 100 years, Pop, and you've seen it all. What wisdom can you impart? What are you thinking? What did you see? What can you conclude from all of this? And he said, the only thing I'm thinking about is tomorrow's another fucking Valentine's Day. What am I supposed to get her this year? I said, I don't know, but you got 2-day free shipping. It's tough. We really weren't prepared for our parents to be living this long. Our parents weren't prepared to be living this long. Financially, it's tough. It's why whenever they talk about this is the greatest economy ever, they always do that. Every bunch of years, either Democrats or Republicans have, oh boy, they start blowing their own horn. The only people who ever talked about the fact that it's really a good economy, the only people who ever say it's a great economy are either politicians or rich people. They're the only ones who say it. Did you ever hear somebody from the middle class go, fuck, whew, I couldn't be happier. This is really turning out great. My 401k just had a 401k. It's bullshit. And it's bullshit because we're not prepared for things. It doesn't matter. We don't prepare for things. We weren't prepared for what just happened. We put officials in place, and what do? And meanwhile, before that shit even hit the fan, my parents had no clue that they would live as long as they were living. And the only reason they were living as long as they lived was because I was able to get them 24/7 care. And I was able to get them 24/7 care because I've been able to dupe you fuckers into seeing me. And so for those of you tonight who may have stumbled in here by accident and are going, well, I made a big fucking mistake. I just want you to know, you may not enjoy the show, but because of you, my mother will live another day. But none of us were prepared for this. None of us. Your parents weren't prepared because they put a certain amount of money aside. Your parents weren't prepared because when they were younger, people had the common courtesy to die at 65. Yes, they did. They would sing happy birthday, and then the fucker would go, I'm doing this for you, and then they'd drop dead right in the cake. But the parents didn't put away enough money. They didn't, because they didn't expect it. They put aside the money they thought they would need until they passed away, and they kept going. And so now the children who put money aside for themselves have to take out of that fund and put it toward their parents, which they should. And now who's going to help who's going to help you out, huh? Who's going to help you out? The kid who's still living in the basement? Greatest economy ever. Good luck with that. No, it's unbelievable. I tried to prepare for it. Before even assisted living was a notion for my parents, I found a place in New York, and one of the places I knew I'd live there it would be where I'd live in New York City, and I would stay there. And so one of the reasons I liked it was a block away from an assisted living place, and I wanted to take my parents there. My mother went with me. I took her. It was a great place. I said, what did you think? She said, if we lived this close to each other, within 3 days, one of us would be dead. And since I don't think anything's gonna kill me, I think it's gonna be you. Many people say, I hear this from time to time, many people have a frontier mentality, even though we don't live on the frontier. And they think that if your parents can't live at home, or can't have assisted living, that they should live with you, the children. And whenever anybody tells me that, I usually go, you don't know my fucking mother! Why don't you just try to spend 4 hours with her, you fuck? I'll give you $10,000 if you make it for 20 minutes. Because I can guarantee after 10, you'll be going, look, can you get me a flight to North Korea? Because my mother's gonna break you, you piece of shit. My parents moved into the assisted living situation when they were 83. They moved in with a whole group of people who'd never been in assisted living, in a place, a brand new place. It was the first time, it was just opening. It was a lucky break. Finding a great place for your parents to stay is a lucky fuck break. Everybody knows that. We got very lucky, but my mother basically investigated the thing like she was a judge at the Nuremberg trials. So it worked out great. And then they moved in and they outlived everybody by like a fucking mile. And then they brought in new contestants. And my parents outlived them. As a matter of fact, every so often after they'd dinner, they'd get up and go, bring it on! I called up the assisted living place and said, looks like my parents won the contest. They said it wasn't a contest. I said, fuck you, this was the real survivor. My mother is quite honestly this tall. I'm a little worried. She may not die, and she may just disappear. But one thing that might save you money, one thing I've been able to do is I've moved her into a terrarium. She's happy there, but she thinks that the tortoise is Mitch McConnell. I do travel a lot. I found myself looking over a city. I was on a mountaintop, and there was a working farm there, a small working farm, an educational farm. It was built by the folks of that region in order to teach the kids in elementary school and middle school about what farm life and agriculture is like, because most of the state is agricultural, and these kids lived in the city, and they wanted them to know what it was like. And so I asked the folks who put it together, what did they think of how it was working? And they said it was working well, and it was more important than they realized when they were noticing that a number of the children didn't know that an egg came from a chicken. All right. I was just in Elgin last night. I've been in Waukegan. I've been in Philadelphia, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, everywhere I've performed. I tell that story, okay? I tell people that children, American children, born and raised here, don't know that an egg comes from a buck, 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 buck. The reaction I get is the same reaction I got tonight. Fucking nothing. I find that kind of, well, appalling. I would think, from the time I started telling this story, when I first heard it, I was shocked. I thought I will tell this to others. They will be shocked. But no, you're not shocked. There was no sense of shock in this room. It was almost as if the same story as sitting in the toilet looking at the bathroom thing. No shock. They have broken you. The last 30 years has so broken the American people in their spirit. I told you something horrifying, and your reaction was, yeah, what else is new? Add it to the list. I just thought the people were still singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm. That's what I thought. That's how I learned it. With a chick here and a chick there. Here a chick, there a chick. Everywhere there was a fucking chick! But I guess old McDonald lost his subsidy. I don't care, I love that joke. It's unbelievable. If I had a child, but it should be obvious to many of you why that hasn't fucking come to pass. If I had a child, my child would know where an egg came from. I'd dress up in a chicken outfit. Because that's how much I love my child. And then I'd take that egg and I'd put it right between the cheeks of my ass. And I'd get down like this. I'd go, here's where an egg comes from. It comes from a chicken. And I'd drop the egg. And the egg goes splat, and me and the kid go, ah, ha, ha, ha. And then when my child was taken away by child services and went from one foster home to another, at least my child would know, where a fucking egg came from. There was a young girl who arrived, college sophomore. She wanted to work there as an intern. They had a cow there, a mechanical cow. Kids could learn, they could milk it, so kids knew where milk came from. And also, I guess, so they knew what a cow was, so in case there was in a field and there was a bull, they didn't run up and grab its cock. She went there. She looked at the cow, then looked at the people and said, is that a cow? She's not working there as an intern. Nope. But you should know when you order your coffee and say, I'd like soy milk, I'd like almond milk, I'd like oat milk. That's the new milk. Fuck you, oat milk. I'm gonna put oat milk on my oatmeal. Ooh, that'll be exciting. Almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, all of them, coconut milk, anything you squeeze to get white shit. When you ask for that milk, you're the reason that girl didn't know that was a fucking cow. I'm gonna read you something because my brain will not allow me to memorize it. If I memorized it, I would die in front of you. The reality that I'm going to tell you is so frightening to me that my brain will not touch it. I'm serious. And that is I also read it so that you know that it is real. Because if I just told it to you, you would think, fuck, he made that up. This actually is happening. This is in New York. Stressed out New Yorkers are leaving the city for sessions of therapeutic cow cuddling. I'm gonna say this. If you didn't laugh at that, you need to take some real serious time off. Someone didn't like my act and wrote to me that they didn't like my act, and the thing that they thought wasn't funny at all was the cow cuddling. And I thought, then fuck you, then you don't know what funny is. Cow cuddling is funny, I don't give a shit. I know it's funny, I didn't even make it up, it's real, so it's ha 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 ha. People are cuddling cows, don't tell me that's not fucking funny. At Mountain Horse Farm in upstate New York, a 60-minute session with a cow starts at $75. So imagine what you can get for $250. But for those of you who hate your job, I just gave you a fucking dream, didn't I? You get 2 cows and set up outside of Grand Rapids, you fucking make your fortune. Cuddling a warm 1,000-pound cow can impart a sense of calm. The farm's website says, because the animals, and this is in quotes, sense if you are happy, sad, feel lost, a cow feels, wow, this person feels lost. A cow, anxious or excited. If you're hugging a cow and you feel excited, you need to see a doctor bad. and respond without judgment, ego, or agenda. Are you, without judgment, ego, or agenda, are you shitting me? You could hold a rock, you could hug it, you could fuck a pillow for that matter. Without judgment, ego, or agenda. I would imagine, I would like to be on the phone when they get the call at the insurance place asking for the copay for cow cuddling. I do know that it's my firm belief that if somebody is standing in a field with their arms around a cow, 8 minutes into that session, they've got to be thinking, how did it come to this? That brings us to our leader. I'm not going to dwell on our leader. I don't do that. I've never dwelt on any of our leaders. But what's interesting about the leader now that I find astonishing in terms of audiences, never, from the time that I began talking as a comic about any of them, from before Reagan, Carter, from all of them. This is the first time people will come up to me or send something to something and say, I saw your act, you didn't talk enough about him, or you talk too much about him. Really? Really, do the whole fucking act, that's what you came out of it with. And because I don't dwell on him. And whenever people say that to me, I usually, because I'm polite, go, hey, go fuck yourself. I lived in New York City, and he lived there. He lived probably no more than 25 blocks from me. He was a neighbor, in a sense. And I did jokes about him for 40 years. And so when I was first asked, so I knew him pretty well, much better than most people who watched him on TV, because he'd been a presence in my city. So when I was asked by people, what did I think? Do you think he'll be good for comedy? And what I said, and I still think it's my best joke about him, is he'll be good for comedy in the way that a stroke is good for a nap. I know that there are those of you who like him. I've never liked any of them. So when I don't like him, I've never had more people offended by the fact that I don't like him. I've never had that about anybody else. You can't be offended that I don't like him. I didn't like the one before 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 him. So it's not up for you. You made the mistake. You elected him, so I get him. I get to say whatever the fuck I want, because I said it about the others, and I can say it about him. You don't get to be, but no. You don't. Okay? I'm glad you're happy. A lot of people were happy when before with the others. They were, oh boy, this is the best ever. Not for me. Not for me. No president's made me happy, because I've never been happy with any authority figure. And it dawned on me the other day, finally, the most disturbing thing. And it was disturbing to me when I was watching him initially talk about this virus. And I was watching him, and he was just, and here's the problem. I need an adult. I know this is hard for you to take, some of you. He was making shit up. And I needed somebody with a stethoscope. That's who I needed to listen to, not him. And then I thought, why is it bothering me so much? It dawned on me for the first time ever that I'm listening to somebody whose face is orange. And not in the sense of, they say Cheeto face or orange face. People have said that, but it never dawned on me. It's always been derogatory. I'm not saying this derogatory. There's nothing derogatory about what I'm saying. It's the truth. This is true. You have elected, you may love him, but you elected a man whose face is orange. I just want to know at some point, I know that you hated her. I get that. I never argued with that. But then you went, that you hated her so much, you went, okay, so his face is orange. You don't find that fucking disturbing? I find it disturbing. And what I really found, then I started thinking, it took me this fucking long to realize that that's the problem I'm having, that his face is orange, that I listen to a man whose face is orange. Why am I listening? Why the fuck am I listening to a man whose face is orange? And that those fucking idiot Republicans who ran against him, that none of them they stood there and took all of his shit. You're a cracker. You've got a small penis. Your hands are so small. You've got... And he went through all that shit, and not one of them said, your face is orange. And I don't respect the Democrats either. They come out after a discussion with him. Don't fucking tell me I'm mad, I'm this, I'm that, and the other. You just say, I would have liked to have heard him, but his face is orange. People didn't like President Obama because he was a black man. And what disturbed them was that he might be from another country, Kenya, and that scared people. His face is orange. He may be from another planet. This is really what I think sums it up for me. And that is that he was in North Carolina. He was comforting the people there. He was comforting them because they had, it was a hurricane had hit last year. He was standing there looking at a man, and the man was standing on his property. On the property was nothing but a boat. Everything else was gone, his house, all of his, everything. The leader of our country said to this man, at least you have a boat. He said, it's not my boat. He said, it's on your property. If you had the right lawyer, could be your boat. I'm going to leave you now with one last thought, which is what's wrong with America? Because I know, and you don't. And I stumbled on it by accident. And it's certainly not what I expected. I was traveling when I learned this. I was traveling from Buffalo, New York to Jamestown, New York. Jamestown, New York is the home of the National Comedy Center, which has been named the best new museum in the United States. It's dedicated to all things comedy. If you love George Carlin, if you love the Smothers Brothers, if you love Gary Shandling, the list is endless, but there's a room totally dedicated to George Carlin. We have all of his stuff there. So I've worked with them for the past number of years, and I will be there again this year. And I was traveling, and I was feeling a little hungry. I was peckish, and I stopped at a McDonald's. It was 1 a.m, and I drove up to the box. I was thinking of having McNuggets, because that seemed like the healthy choice. They had a new menu item. I did not know this. Buttermilk tenders. Well, this really piqued my interest. So I said to the box, do you know the difference between the McNuggets and the tenders? And this stumped the box. It went radio silent. I thought the box might need a little cow cuddling. And so finally the box answered. Took a while, but it said, well, a McNugget is a McNugget. And a tender is a tender. Well, armed with that information, I threw caution to the wind. I'm kind of a foodie, so I said, hey, bring on the tenders. I drove up to the window. The employee came to the window. I said, don't go in yet, please. Before you go, tell me, do you know the difference between a McNugget and a tender? Without any hesitation, the employee said, well, the tender tastes a bit more like chicken. That's what's wrong with America. When the people in the shit house don't know what's in the shit that they're serving, then we, the people, will get the shits. And I've given you a great way to compare anything. Anything. Most importantly, when you were asked the question, and you will be asked the question, what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican? No, that's not the answer. You know what the answer is. You missed what I just told you. And you'll have to stay after class. A Democrat is a Democrat. And a Republican is a Republican. And they both taste a little bit like chicken. Thank you. Thank you all. Take care of each other, okay? Be well. Love you.